Hello, Ben.
Hello.
Hello. We're going to Holland today. But first, we need to get through the mid-season break. Oh, we just done that. That was nice and quick. Right, we're going to sign for a week, and we're going to end up in Holland for the Dutch. We'll do that one. This is Max Verstappen's home race,
All right.
so we've got to kick his ass. It's very windy,
Well,
this one.
when you say it's his home race, what do you mean by that? This is his hometown?
No, I think he's from not far away from there, but he's Dutch.
Right.
So
Okay.
it's his home race. You've
Well,
got to
we're
give it your
British.
pride.
You never said that about Silverstone,
I
which is
did.
famously in Britain,
I did.
did you?
Yeah, I said it was my home race.
All right.
It's also most teams' home race as well because most teams are based in the UK. There's
Hmm.
a bit called Motorsport Valley, nicknamed Motorsport Valley, but basically so many fucking teams have their bases there, including McLaren. Oh, we're coming up to the last corner here.
Already? Jesus.
It's the last corner of this duel thing. It's a it's the free attempt thing where we start in different positions in relation to each other each time. It's a nice long straight this. So there's going to be DRS down there on the main race. Hopefully we'll do all right. Fingers crossed. But yeah, I don't really have any F1 topics for you this week.
Oh.
Genuinely, seriously. I've been listening to your podcast, but none of it's really taken me fancy for telling you about.
Hmm.
Um,
Well, that's new, isn't it?
it was interesting, but nothing that I felt the need to share. Oh my god,
Well,
how has he managed to overtake me on the side? No, okay. Ah, shit! Oh god, that was tighter than it needs to be.
y- you may not have any F1 topics, but nor do I.
Ah. I saw a video by, I think it was What Culture earlier, and they mentioned the F1 movie that's coming out this year as being a movie that is doomed already
Huh?
because of the budget that they spent on it. But I'm looking forward to watching it.
What's it about?
It's got Brad Pitt as an old racing driver, by which I mean
Yeah.
supposedly in his 40s, even though he's about 60 odd. Um, and there's a new driver. I'm assuming about them coming to terms with the fact that he's on the way out and the other one's on the way in. I
So
guess.
it's A Star is Born, but with cars.
I guess so. Yeah. I mean, I'll find out for sure. The thing that's really got me interested in watching it is that it's got a lot of genuine F1 personalities involved. I've seen the
All
trailer.
right.
Gunter Steiner's in the trailer, and everyone likes Gunter Steiner.
The Gunter Stein.
The Gunter Steiner, not
Steiner.
Steiner.
Oh, I'm not as interested as I was when I thought it was Gunter Stein.
You know, they've got actual people involved in it, and that's they've been filming at actual race days as well.
Gosh.
They've tried to get a bit of realism involved in the process. So I've got to respect that. I look forward
Yeah.
to watching it. I think it comes out in May or June, but I can't remember for sure. But it could be good, and I'm not
Yeah.
going to get upset about it until it happens.
Yeah.
But apparently, the budget, some people reckon it's as high as 300 million, which is a
Gosh.
lot of money for a movie.
It is,
Yeah,
especially for a movie about racing cars.
yeah, exactly. That's for
If there's a movie about a space lady who blows up a planet.
with their tits.
Yeah, it would be the biggest thing since sliced bread.
Yeah, that's a point.
Um,
I saw. Are you familiar with the character Darth Talon from extended Star Wars media?
you know I'm not.
I would like you please to Google Darth Talon so that you can see what Darth Talon looks like.
Okay.
Let me know when you've done that so you can see what she looks like.
A Lady Darth.
Yep,
Bloody hell, they can do anything these days, can't they?
they can. Can you see what this person looks like?
Yeah, I see someone with a midriff.
Okay, so apparently George Lucas was really keen on getting her included in stuff, and it
Yeah.
was suggested that maybe it was because he likes the design, but he wasn't willing to elaborate. Now, all the
Uh,
stuff I saw in this video, which was talking about things that people don't really know about Star Wars, even fans don't really know, that was one of the things is why George Lucas is so into Darth Talon. But we all know why he's into Darth Talon.
yeah.
She was very boobsy in the stuff that I saw, and I don't know what you've got in front of you.
Well, Yeah, I've got someone wearing few clothes, but I
But
suppose armor doesn't really help against lightsabers anyway. So
no, not unless it's Beskar.
yeah.
So, so yeah,
Mm.
that was a thing. I've realised I lay into you for watching your documentaries, but my list videos that I see on YouTube are basically just mini documentaries in a way.
Yeah. I like documentaries so much. I'm kind of making them.
Yeah, well,
Um,
I'm not quite that sad.
would you like a topic?
Yes, please, but
Well,
I don't have any chocolate, so
there's been a sad death recently.
that's it.
Yeah,
I didn't know.
of a much loved cultural icon.
Okay, go on.
Uh, Duo, the Duolingo owl,
Oh
died.
yes, you know what? I nearly wrote that down.
Um,
Even Dua Lipa's commented.
yes, the official statement is rather amusing. It is with heavy hearts that we inform you that Duo, formerly known as the Duolingo owl, is dead. Authorities are currently investigating his cause of death, and we are cooperating fully. To be honest, he probably died waiting for you to do your lesson, but what do we know? We're aware he had many enemies, but we kindly ask that you refrain from sharing why you hate him in the comments.
Mm,
If you feel inclined to share, please also include your credit card number so that we can automatically sign you up for Duolingo Max in his memory. We appreciate you respecting Dua Lipa's privacy at this time.
yes, that was. It was funny. I was amused. Um,
Yes, they knew exactly how to play that character.
they absolutely did, and I want to know where they're going to go with this because
Yeah, I do. They must have a plan.
they
Maybe his
must do.
long lost son shows up or something. I don't know. There's a plan here. There's a long term plan.
There's absolutely got to be. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what happens. But there's a lot of places are leaning into it. A lot of, I think it was the easy. There was an airplane company with a mascot who was saying something along the lines of preparing now that the number one mascot on TikTok is available. The number one spot for best mascot on something like that. I can't remember, but it's like fucking ridiculous that this is a thing. But it's also hilarious. So
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know. But yeah,
Yes.
I was quite amused as well.
The rare instance of an advertising company playing into the meme and actually doing really well with it.
Oh yeah, you know it's if you don't know what the Duolingo owl is, you you've missed out completely because it's just
Yes.
funny. It's just this somewhat unhinged and potentially quite violent owl that wants you to learn foreign languages. And I'll tell you
Yes.
what, in Duolingo's memory, in Duo's memory, I am currently number one in my group for the week. In the Diamond League,
Oh.
which is the top league, I could be the best person in my league for the week, and I can't get upgraded to another. Oh, I know what's happened.
Uh
Oh, it's done it again, Ben.
oh.
It did this.
Sketio.
It did this the other day, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
Okay. So whilst that happens, yeah, it's possible that I might be the best person for the week, but I need to make sure I do some proper lessons tomorrow or the day after.
Mm.
Someone's only a few hundred experience behind me, and this always happens whenever I do really well in the top one. Some bastard snipes it out from underneath me, and it's really annoying because you get an achievement for getting the top one, and I only have to get it once, and then I'm done. Right? I don't want to do it every bloody week. I'm not going to try and I just once get it done, happy days, and then I'll just coast through. I don't
Yeah.
care. Can we talk about old actors?
Sorry?
Can we talk about old actors?
Yeah, certainly. It's usually something I talk about, but yeah, go on.
Well, I've got two old actors I want to talk about, two separate topics.
Yeah.
Harrison Ford did an interview on BBC Radio 2.
Did he? Was he incredibly unenthusiastic?
He came across as unenthusiastic. He sounds really old. Do you know how old he is without Googling?
I want to say he's 82.
He is 82, correct.
Fuck.
I was amazed that he was 82 when Mark Hamill's only 73. I feel like
Gosh.
they'd be a lot closer to each other in age. But no, he's
Okay.
82. And it does make me worry that we've not got much longer left with him.
Well, Carrie Fisher's dead.
Well, exactly, yeah, you know. But he's we're not going to have long left with him, I shouldn't think. And
Well, what's your favourite Harrison Ford performance?
trouble is, I've not seen enough outside of the two big franchises he's in.
Okay, which of the
To
two big franchises is your favourite Harrison Ford performance?
I think I prefer Han Solo, but only because there's the controversy surrounding Indiana Jones.
Why? Because he flirts with his students.
Well, there's that, and the fact that his love interest in one of them might have been a bit young.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with Han Solo.
Speaking of underage love interests, um, are you familiar with Mrs. Columbo?
No, I'm not.
Okay, well, Mrs. Columbo, believe it or not, was Mr. Columbo's Lieutenant Columbo's wife.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Famously
no, but
unseen but referenced throughout the series, and they did a spin-off series
okay.
um, called Mrs. Columbo,
Or is that
where
right?
where where she was played by Kate Mulgrew, famous for playing Captain Catherine Janeway.
Hmm.
Now, somebody pointed out that Kate Mulgrew is rather a lot younger than Peter Falk,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it's mentioned in one episode when the year they met,
Yeah.
I think, and fell in love or got married or whatever, and it was highlighted that Kate Mulgrew would have been like 12 and Peter Falk would have been like 28 or something.
It's important to note characters play people that are older and younger than themselves at any particular time.
This is true, and it's also worth mentioning. I think there's an episode of Columbo where he mentions offhand some crazy woman pretending to be his wife.
Oh, okay. So actually,
So
Kate
they,
Mulgrew is just some crazy woman.
yeah,
But
I like to think she was just a fan of Columbo and decided that she should be his wife.
oh, she writes Mr. and Mrs. Columbo in a notebook in hearts or something.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. I could get behind that theory.
Yeah.
George Russell's doing good, right? Isn't he? Jesus, lad. He's really fucking getting down.
Kicking your ass.
Oh, I'm kicking everyone else's ass, especially Max. He's a second behind me.
Mm.
It's a tough track. That's the problem. It's very windy, and I don't do well on windy. I do well on
Long winding road.
Yeah, it is a long and winding road. So anyway, yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ, Lewis!
That was a bit rude. Are you
We,
okay?
oh, yeah, no. Is it that? Okay, let's see what he did. Oh, okay. No, I wasn't even drifting across there.
He spun you out.
He's off the track already. Look, he goes off the track. He's off the track. He is. He's off the track.
He is. He is. I can confirm he is off the track.
He goes off the track to take me out. I'll do it back to him, bastard. Oh, I get a warning. No, anyway, yeah. So Harrison Ford's getting on a bit, and obviously he's been in that new Captain America film, hasn't he?
Has he?
Yeah, there's a new Captain America film, and he may or may not turn into Red Hulk, but he also doesn't really know what a Red Hulk is.
Of course he fucking doesn't. He just wants his fucking paycheck and wants to go home and sleep. That's what Harrison Ford wants to do at this stage in his life, and he's earned the right.
He did a message for Alison Hammond, by the way, for her birthday.
Yeah, I remember they had an interview, and it was a bit amusing by all
Yeah,
accounts.
well, he did a birthday message for her, which isn't something that you normally would expect him to do for people. So clearly, clearly they had someone either pulled some strings, or she left him with actual memories of what was going on for once. But no, I shouldn't think we've got many years left with him, and that'll be sad. I think, because such a even if it is mostly for those two big roles.
Yeah.
I know he's been in a lot of other stuff, but it'll be a big deal if he dies. When he dies, I should say.
There will be, of course it will be.
And rightly so.
Yeah, he's great as both Han Solo and Indiana Jones, and no doubt in a number of other things he has done.
Was he good as the president in Air Force One? I don't hear
Probably.
anyone criticise him for it. So
He was in The Fugitive.
yes, he was with Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah. Who is a famously cantankerous man.
Yeah.
You know, on the set of I think it was Batman and Robin, where he played Two-Face,
Hmm.
and Jim Carrey played the Riddler. Apparently, he went up to Jim Carrey and said, "I cannot sanction your buffoonery,"
Brilliant.
and then proceeded to give one of the most ridiculous performances of all time.
That's brilliant. Would you like to know the other old actor I wanted to talk about?
Do you know? I think I would.
John Lithgow.
Yes.
Why is he
Is this?
on my list?
Well, he's in talks. Apparently, there were rumours that he's in sort of the late stages of talks to play Dumbledore
Yes, that's what I heard.
in the new adaptation of TV adaptation of the Harry Potter series.
Why is it such a big deal that it would be him?
Well, he's an American.
Yeah, but it's a HBO program and they're making it all American, so that's fair enough.
Yeah.
But the thing that caught my eye is how old he is. They reckon this is a show that's going to take a decade.
Is he in his 80s as well?
He's 79, which means that by the time it's finished, he'll be about 90.
They'll probably record a lot in advance. I mean, he doesn't have much to do, in fairness, post book 6.
Well,
But
no,
I mean,
but
that's a fair old way into it. But
you know, if it would be very on brand for the character if he died after 2 seasons.
yes, much like which is a reference to the death of Richard Harris.
Yes, it is.
Do you know where I was when I found that out?
Where?
I was in an airport, I think, coming home from Ireland, and I remember as a kid seeing newspapers saying Dumbledore is dead.
Oh Christ!
I was like, oh no.
I didn't realise you got the Daily Prophet so far in advance. I read something yesterday about how James Phelps, one of the twins that played Fred and George,
Yeah.
I believe he played Fred based on context, had been reading the last book on a bullet train in Japan.
Mm.
And a ticket inspector came up to ask for his ticket just as he got to the bit where Fred died.
Yeah.
And he said, "Give me a minute, mate. I've just found out I'm dead," or something along those lines. And that was just a story. But fine. I only read it yesterday, so it's going to have stuck with me. But yeah.
Do you know Steven Spielberg wanted to do the Harry Potter films, but he wanted to do them animated and have Haley Joel Osment as Harry.
I'd heard 2 of those 3 things.
Yeah. And
what's the obsession with Haley Joel Osment?
well, he was a big kid star at the time, and he'd done AI with him, I think, by that point. And Robin Williams wanted to play Hagrid.
So yeah, I can get behind that. In an Americanized version, I can get behind that.
Yeah.
But obviously, you know, it would have felt weird for it to be an American thing. It's going to feel weird, this one being an American thing.
It is, yeah.
But we'll have to see how it pans out. No doubt we will watch it.
Possibly, yeah. I mean, I watched the first 3, I think, episodes of Dexter Original Sin. It's on, I think, the final episode is coming out this weekend.
He's done it again.
I need to watch that.
Oh,
Have you pissing his drink or something?
I don't think so. I'm on the... He didn't turn in like he was supposed to.
Actually, speaking of Dexter, you know they're doing Dexter Resurrection.
Yeah, I think you told me about it. I can't.
Yeah, it's sort of picking up the story after New Blood. And there's been some casting announcements for that.
Okay.
Uma Thurman and Peter Dinklage are going to be in it.
Okay.
Which I'm down for. I like both those actors. Yeah. Do you know, I don't know whether we've talked about this before. Do you know Peter Dinklage was in a film called Tiptoes?
I don't think I did.
It was about a dwarf, or a little, I don't know what they like to be called, a dwarf, who I think his brother was like a not normal, you know what I mean, a tall person.
Yeah.
Non-dwarf. And do you know who played the dwarf?
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Gary Oldman
Oh yes, I'm familiar with this. Yes,
walking around on his knees,
yes.
and Peter Dinklage is right fucking there. It's like, uh,
Well, but it's Gary Oldman.
yeah. I mean, he's great and he can play almost any role, but not that. There's some criticism towards Peter Dinklage actually from the dwarf community,
Really?
or the dwarfism community. Yeah, because he's been so critical of things like Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs and things like that.
It was a movie that came out in the fucking 30s, mate. Get over it.
Well, it's not even that.
It's
It's the
animated.
panto. It's the panto stuff.
Okay.
Because that's a big. If you're a dwarf actor, that's like a regular gig.
Yeah, I'd say so.
So there's been some complaints that he's kind of doing him out of work by criticising it.
I suppose that's fair enough, really.
I mean, I get that, but really, there's an argument to be made first and foremost that there should be better roles for people with dwarfism.
I want to watch a version of Othello where everyone's a dwarf apart from one person. Tell me it couldn't be done, because I'm telling you it could.
You know, I've often thought that you could remake Romeo and Juliet and make them old people in a nursing home.
Yep. Yeah.
You get Ian McKellen and Helen Mirren. Because it's kind of similar. It is your second childhood, and you've got two families who don't really like each other, and the parents are like hooking up, and then they take their own lives at the end, and it could take on a whole different meaning. You should play about with this stuff, you know.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
There's no point just retelling the same fucking story over and over and over again. Let's play about with it. It's you know.
No, I completely agree with you. Oh Jesus Christ! I don't know what's going on with my steering. Okay, we just need to beat Max. That's all that really matters, is beating Max. Because he's a twat. I mean, we don't even need to beat him. It would be nice to beat him in his home race.
Yeah.
It's important to note we're actually on medium tyres whilst they're on softs. So they have got faster tyres than we have, and they're going faster than us. I mean, that's to be expected, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
The key thing is that we don't lose too much ground. Pardon me. After they pit.
Oh, incidentally, just to soothe our viewers' concerns, I do get full pay.
Oh, cool.
For my sick leave.
I meant to ask you about that, actually. I completely forgot.
It's 30 days paid sick, and then it will go up to 60 once I've been there for like 5 years or something.
Oh, it came to light recently that I have actually been out of the office. I've worked for the company that I work for genuinely longer than almost all of the furniture. I think the only things that have been there longer than me, genuinely,
is this depressing to you?
It is a bit. Other than silly things like doors.
Furniture.
Other than silly things like doors, I think the only things that have been there longer than me are some cupboards and the toilets. And toilets, you get a long life on toilets, and the cupboards that are there, I've outlasted half of them because we ripped half of them out. So, I've been through 4 kettles there.
God.
All the computers got replaced at one point. All the chairs have been replaced. Even the fucking carpet's been replaced while I've been there. Some of the windows have been replaced. Heck, we put a new window in a few years ago. We got a completely new window in a few years ago. There's going to be a point. I don't think the light bulbs have been changed either. But there's talk of changing some of the light bulbs soon to make them a little bit dimmer. So my 12, coming up to 12 and a half years of being there is I've outlasted so much stuff. We joke about me being a part of the furniture, but genuinely, when I found out the thing that made me grumpy yesterday, I nearly went into my car and left. I got as far as walking out into the little airlock porch bit that we have out the front, and when I stopped there, and then gave it a few minutes. Well, I gave it a minute and to just calm myself down a little bit, and I went back to the phone call that I was halfway through. I said to the person on the phone to me, bear with me a moment. Put the phone on my desk and walked out to the porch.
So you would have left them hanging.
Oh yes, absolutely. I'd
Uh,
convinced myself to get in the car and go around about the point that I got to the door, and by the time I'd got to the second door, I changed my mind again. There's not a lot of time in between those two things, but it's worth noting that I had that thought and then I changed my
I wonder whether your frustration with this incident that happened is more about your attitude to your job in general and your position in life.
mind. It could well be. I don't like being dicked about, is what it is,
Mm,
and I feel somewhat disrespected by this situation. This whole situation has made me feel a bit disrespected.
mm,
Because part of the conversation as well was, when if people are being a bit too loud and a bit distracting, and you need to tell them to stop, or if you need to avoid having a few conversations with people, do it. And it's like, well, I only have these conversations with people if I've got time to have these conversations with people. However many,
yeah.
I have never missed a deadline because of my own inability to do my job. I've only missed the deadlines because other people haven't finished met their deadlines in time. Right? I don't.
Mm,
I'm not the reason why stuff gets done late when it comes to this shit. It's absolutely categorically not me. So don't tell me what I need to do to make sure I hit the deadline if I'm not missing the deadline. Right?
mm.
I just and between you and me, and I need to be careful how I word this, in the off chance that they are watching this, which is not going to happen, but just in case,
Hello, if you are.
there are certain people in my in the hierarchy of authority, shall we say,
Mm,
who it seems take issue with me being a chatty person at times when I'm able to be chatty.
mm,
But I don't do overtime because I don't have to do the overtime, so I'm still getting my work done in time, right?
mm.
I'm not no deadlines are all being met. No one's complaining about the quality of my work. Everything is being done as it should be. But sometimes I'm a bit chatty.
Mm.
Whereas there are people who are doing overtime and they will genuinely disappear into the kitchen for 45 minutes to have a conversation in the middle of the day, sometimes twice a day, sometimes.
Mm.
And they're doing overtime because they've got to do overtime to meet the deadlines that they've got. And it's like, well, hang on a minute. Why are you coming at me if you need to focus on you, right?
Mm.
It's not. I'm not the one that's making you miss your deadlines. I've got time to be chatty. If you ain't, that's on you. And
In my team,
if it's one of these situations where maybe that work needs to be passed down, fucking pass it down. You know.
I mean, my team leader's pretty brilliant. She basically really long leash. As long as you get your work done to a high standard, there's no issue.
Yeah, that's how it
She
should be.
trusts us. She completely trusts us. We're adults. She lets us get on with it.
I
And
should
we
be
don't.
trusted. I don't feel like I am sometimes.
And because of that, I don't think any one of us wants to let her down.
Yeah.
Because there's a fair amount of trust. I think I've always said there's some managers who think that if you're not working all the time, you're not working at all.
Yeah, I've wanted to believe that. I basically had an hour today where I didn't do anything. I'm going to admit to
Mm.
that. I got home from picking my son up from school. It was more like 45 minutes. I got home from picking my son up from school, finished the thing off that I was doing before I went to pick him up. I had a look through the jobs and realised there was only really one or two things I could actually do today anyway. So I did one of them, and then I called the rest of the day quits. I stuck about for emails and Teams messages and shit, but I didn't do anything of consequence. It was just, you know. And I don't feel bad about that at all because I worked my fucking ass off today. I was showing you earlier, wasn't I? The task list that we have, there are 41 jobs on there attributed to me. Now it's a bit more nuanced than that because one job's on there 3 times under 3 different things, right? So technically it's only 39 jobs. But like silly things like that. And sheer numbers, I've got 41 jobs on that list and I've only got 22 left to do and we've only been doing it for 1 of the 7 days. I'm well ahead
That's
of where I
impressive.
should be, right?
Yeah.
What it is I know what jobs I can do when and I know how to prioritise my work properly.
Mm. See, the difficult thing about my job is that none of the jobs individually are particularly difficult,
Nope, same.
but there's a lot of them, and it's about managing them and keeping track of where everything is. Now, I'm fairly good at that, really, because I'm sort of obsessive about this sort of thing. I've got my tracking sheets that I made myself that I use to to track my progress. I've got individual like checklists and things like that for stuff. Um, but you know, every now and then, I mean, we're only human. Every now and then, something slips through the cracks.
Oh yeah.
But I do my best. I mean, I think the people I work with regard me pretty highly, actually, better than I thought,
Mm.
um, which is lovely.
Yeah, it's nice to
It's
feel
really
like,
nice.
I would say that from the sounds of it, you feel valued.
Yeah, I do. I think I'm. You know, everybody in the team is good, but I think I might be one of the standouts. You know, my workload is compared to everybody else's. It's you know, it's up there. I mean,
Oh
the
yeah.
people I work with, it's pretty substantial stuff, and it's a wide range of stuff. So I've got experience in kind of everything we do, really. You know, broadly speaking.
Mm.
Um, yeah, um, it's nice to feel valued. I'd like to. We have like team or staff awards. I was nominated for one of those a while ago by one of my other team members, which was nice. I'd like to be nominated like fully and maybe even win it, but who knows? We'll see.
I I was invited to a hush hush meal by someone, like a group meal amongst
Yeah,
people in the office, but it was on a down low. Not it wasn't
yeah,
a everyone being invited thing.
yeah.
I'm not going to tell you who invited me because you know. Uh, but that happened today. I got invited to that today. I mean, I'm not going to go because I'm not in, right now. I'm not in the mood to talk to any of these people at all, let alone talk to them in a personal setting outside of work hours, where I'm probably
Yeah,
going to have a drink and do something stupid. Right? It's
yeah.
not worth it. But you know, it's nice to be offered to you. Right? I asked who else had been invited, so I know who not to say something to.
Yeah.
And yeah, there was only there's very few of us have been invited, so obviously they value spending some time with me socially outside of work.
Yeah.
And I feel a bit shitty about turning it down, but honestly, it's for the best at the moment because,
Mm,
well, like I say,
you're not in a good headspace.
I nearly walked out yesterday and went home. So
You'll end up saying, yeah, yeah.
just things are a bit silly at the moment. And like I say, I
Mm,
feel a bit disrespected. I feel a bit undervalued, and I feel a bit untrusted, even though there's no reason for them not to trust me to do my job properly because I do my fucking job properly every fucking month.
mm,
You know, this monthly task list of these 41 jobs that isn't really 41 jobs, but we're calling it 41 for the sake of the numbers. I every single month, what I do is I get a calendar out, I print it, I work out what jobs need to be done when, so I can meet the deadline, work out what jobs can actually be done when, based on when other things need to happen, and I fucking stick to it and I get it done. Today's list had 9 jobs on it, yeah,
mm.
and I still
Yeah.
did 19. As far as the thing's concerned, I've still ticked off 19 by the end of, you know, I did yet tomorrow's big job. I was expecting it to take all fucking day, and I got it done this afternoon.
Mm.
So I'm a day ahead basically at this point, near enough. After one day. So why is anyone doubting my ability to do my job? Because it fucking feels like
They
they doubt my ability to do
shouldn't
my job.
be.
Pardon?
Well, they shouldn't be.
No, I know they shouldn't be.
Your former colleague has nothing but praise for you.
I don't blame her. I'm bloody good at my job.
I because I was off for those 2 weeks. I've got that big backlog.
Yeah.
Every now and then, I sort of question whether I'm actually doing anything. You know.
Hmm.
But then I come back to all that stuff, and it's like, Jesus, this is basically 2 weeks worth of stuff here to
Hmm.
do. Um, it's just it gave me a real, I guess, insight into just the wide range of stuff I do and how much of it there is.
Yeah.
Because I've got stuff coming out my arse at the minute. I'm up to my
You need
neck
to
in
see a
it,
doctor about that.
and I still haven't quite caught up with it.
Well, they want to
But
put us through.
I've done the bulk of it. But it is a lot, and I you know, I I do complain about it. You know,
Well, you know,
of course that's only human, but I can do
no, it
it.
is. So I messed up the pit stop time.
You're late.
I was late. What tyres am I on? I'm on hard tyres. Jesus Christ. the extra second that we lost didn't actually matter all that much. We're still 2.5 behind Max. Damn it. Oh well, we're probably not going to end up on the podium this race, but it's fine because we're so far ahead that we don't need to be. I've been having a bit of thought about what my next game's going to be.
Yeah.
Because it's nice for me to plan ahead. But the trouble is, I've come up with 3 different games and in 3 separate thoughts with myself about this, and I've already forgotten which ones any of them were. I considered doing the Skywalker saga for the Lego Star Wars.
Yeah.
Because that's all 9 movies from there, all 9 main movies. And I considered doing Kingdom Come Deliverance, which you might have heard of because a sequel's just come out.
All right.
But we're a few weeks away, and I've probably forgotten all about it by then. So
I have seen videos of people playing that before.
yeah,
I remember there was a lot of hype around it at the time, like it was an open world medieval thingy.
what I've played with the first one is that it's bloody hard, but it is interesting. But it was a bit slow to do stuff. I wasn't very patient with it at the time. And I think I crashed it because my computer was a potato back then. But I'll be able to run it quite nicely on the Steam Deck. So I think quite highly of my Steam Deck. I've been playing a lot of Assassin's Creed Odyssey lately, as you'll have probably seen and we've talked about before. Most recently in the game, I met Hippocrates.
Yeah.
And I have met Socrates a few times.
Oh.
And also Pericles.
Oh.
How many of those people are you familiar with?
Well, Hippocrates was the medicine chap.
Yep.
We learned about him in history.
We did. Medicine through time.
Socrates was, of course, the mentor of Plato, in terms of mentor of Aristotle. Pericles, I believe, was a playwright, wasn't he?
Pericles is credited as being the father of democracy.
Oh, right. So it's all his fault.
I didn't quite turn in quite quick enough. I was too busy getting distracted by the fact that I love democracy so much. I love democracy. I love the Republic. No, Pericles is supposed to be the father of democracy, and he's been killed off. Some assassin killed him. Not just some assassin.
Oh, no.
My secret sister that I thought was dead.
Oh my god.
Bum bum bum. Yeah, screw you, Max. So anyway, so it's and I've met my mum, who we thought was long gone. Spent most of the game trying to find her, and I found her now, and she's gonna help me find my dad as well. My real dad, not my fake dad, because it turns out the bloke we thought was the dad isn't actually the dad. He's just the guy who was raised us, which is still dad, but not biological dad. I realised that game and Hades are the 2 games that I've sank the most time into over the course of this year, right?
Yeah.
And both of them feature patricide. I didn't realise at the time when I started playing either of them that was the case. But you get an option to kill the guy that raises you in Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I didn't do it, but you get given the choice to do it. And part of Hades, your dad, Hades, is the last boss in the game every time you do a run. So you have to kill him quite a lot. 9 times through the story. So but back onto Odyssey. Last night I did a story arc where you go to an arena and you basically your fight to become the best champion in the arena.
Yeah.
After the last fight, I had to beat someone who was 2 levels higher than me in the RPG scaling system, which was surprisingly easy at the time. But I had to do it anyway. And after that, there was I can line one more matchup for you. And it turned out to be the bloke who had been arranging all these matches for us, wanting to either go out, beat us, or go out in a blaze of glory, so he could finally be reunited with his dead daughter.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah, I kicked his ass.
I'm sure he appreciated it.
He did. I got asked afterwards how I would remember him, and the options were either as a hero or as a sad old man.
What did you put as a hero?
I went with as a hero, yeah, because because I was talking to his mate at the time, and you know, and it was an interesting fight, and I feel sympathetic towards him because you know his daughter had died, but it wasn't obvious at the time that was the case. I mean, it is if you understand storytelling conventions and like as soon as it was him in the fight, I knew that his daughter had died, and he was I got that right, but up until that point, it wasn't obvious that she'd died. I'm keen to finish my F1 podcast so that I can get on to reading about Greek myths and stuff, or listening to a thing about Greek myths. If I have two going on at the same time, I get a bit confused.
Yeah.
I shouldn't think I'll be thinking about, I don't know, Theseus driving an F1 car. But at the end of the day, it's best to keep your mind on one at a time, I reckon. So I want to get to the end of this podcast. But the trouble is, we're coming up to the new season soon, and I'm still about 3 years behind. I'm on 2021 stuff. And what's really interesting to me is hearing people talking about things that haven't happened yet for them, but that I know about. So just before the 2021 season started, Sergio Perez, who was the Red Bull driver alongside Max Verstappen, was talking about how it doesn't matter where you start in the first race; it depends where you finish in the last. And he named the tracks themselves, but for context, I just got first and last. And it's especially important that because the race was decided, so the entire championship was decided by the last lap of the last race.
That's ironic.
And it was Sergio Perez's teammate, Max Verstappen, who won because of what had happened in the course of the race. Now, that's the controversial one with the rule change that happened halfway through the race.
Right.
Which everyone sort of agrees is bullshit, but we can't really do anything about now.
The swearing.
No. What happened was, I feel like we've gone over it before, but there was a safety car.
Yeah.
What normally happens is either lap cars can unlap themselves or they can't unlap themselves, and then an extra lap happens if people are unlapping themselves, right? And what happened in this case was the people that were in between first and second on the track, so in between Lewis and Max, were allowed to unlap themselves, and the safety car went in immediately. So and it was the last lap. And it was so that there was racing, but it was also a sort of a complete fuck up of the rules, and it cost Hamilton his 8th championship because of how tight it all was. It all came down to that one. Oh Jesus, that was a bad corner. And it is bull. I don't care what anyone says. It was bullshit then. It's bullshit now. There's a thing of there's a soundbite of the Mercedes Hamilton's team at the time, Mercedes team principal, on the radio to the guy that made the decision, and it's no, this is not right. It's not right, Mikey. It's not right, and it's really stuck with me because it's not even. It's everyone knows that it's wrong. Objectively, it's wrong. Whether you wanted to end the season with racing or not, changing the rule for a one-off and completely misinterpreting and misapplying the rules in that circumstance, it caused the decision on as to who won the championship, and it just isn't right. You know, it's not right. It's not how these things should happen. It's tainted that year, and me and the lads were watching that one live at the time.
All right.
And I was sort of before some of the commentary was before some of the commentators were saying shit. I was saying the shit that they then said, which felt nice, you know.
Yeah.
Sort of demonstrated that I do actually know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I was thinking I might actually. I need to settle down and actually do something. But I was thinking I might try and get me a copy of the regulation rulebook or whatever, and live tweet along to races or whatever for a while and see how that goes.
You nerd. God love you.
It's, you know, I feel like it's worth understanding stuff a bit more than just knowing it how it looks.
Well, yeah.
You know?
Would you like another topic?
Yes, please, because I feel like I've been going on for a little while.
So this is, as you know, and we've talked about this subreddit before, hypothetical situations, right?
Oh god, yeah, go on.
And usually when I find a post on here, the decisions are usually pretty one-sided.
Yep.
This one's kind of interesting because there seems to be, I mean, there's some front runners, but it's a fairly wide spread.
Okay.
And I wanted to get your opinion on it.
Got it.
So, titles choose from one of 5 gifts, or choose one from 5 gifts. The first one is your batteries are always charged. So any battery-powered device on or near you, or near your person, phone in pocket, laptop being used, watches, torches, electric car, etc., stays fully charged until it's no longer in possession/use by you.
Okay.
Number 2, any good luck-based
Hang
odds
on.
increase.
Hang on a sec.
What?
So for clarity, I have an Apple Watch on me right now.
Yeah.
If I was to wear that 24/7, that would classify as being in use. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Carry on.
Number 2, any good luck based odds increase by 20%. Everything from flipping a coin to winning the lottery. Original odds improved by 20%. So if you flip a coin, you choose heads, you've got 60% chance of calling correctly, as its base 50% times 120%. I don't quite understand the maths there, but I get his gist. Number 3, once a month, you can pull out a perfect performance of anything within your own limits. So any presentations, performances, arguments, events, etc., you'll give 100% to, but only using your existing knowledge, skills, and athleticism. So there's no breaking 100-meter records unless you're a career runner already.
Okay.
Number 4.
I wouldn't be able to give a superb piano performance because I can't
No,
play
you
the piano.
wouldn't. But you might absolutely nail the fuck out of a spreadsheet.
Yeah. Well, I do that anyway, mate. So.
Number 4, accident insurance. Um, you get one time in your life that you're guaranteed to survive an accident that would otherwise have immediately killed you. You may pick up injuries, but none severe enough to change your quality of life. And it only applies to you. No one else due to die in the same accident will survive.
Okay.
Number 5, amazing joke or comeback once daily. Exactly as stated, you'll be able to make a room laugh uproariously once a day, or make an amazing comment online that everyone will find hilarious.
Okay. So I would go with the last one
Yes, I would too.
because that's the one that you can most easily monetize.
Well, I wasn't even thinking about monetizing it.
Oh, I absolutely am.
I just think one comment a day that makes everybody laugh uproariously in the office is going to make me more popular.
Okay.
And that's always a good thing.
I would do a single TikTok video every day. And I mean, I know how much money these people can make sometimes.
Yeah.
And you don't have to stick it. You've made it's one video, right? So you can put it on YouTube. You can put it out wherever the fuck you want. And it'll make you sort of popular. In that sense.
Well,
also you can monetize it.
Here's the thing. Well, I don't know. See, it's difficult to tell whether you have control over when this amazing joke or comeback is.
If it's a comment online, that is a active decision.
I don't think it is. I'm not sure whether it is.
I feel like it would have to be.
Well, it could just be you're commenting online and everybody reacts to it in a way that they find it amusing, or you try and make a joke.
Jesus
I don't know.
Christ.
I guess maybe you have to try and make a joke. So if you only try to make a joke once a day.
So I just want to show you this quickly because I don't think you saw it, and I barely saw it. That's a tyre on the left.
Or the 150.
Hang on, no, it's not. It looked like a tyre. The reason I thought it was a tyre is because there's a car in the wall there.
Oh God, who is it?
Kevin Magnuson. I'm gonna go
Bloody
back
Kevin.
I'm gonna go back to here because I fucked up the corner trying to remember which button it was.
But yeah, there's a fair amount of variance. I mean, people are saying the 20% good luck boost, which I think is maybe. I get the logic there, but it's kind of negligible. I felt.
It's something like a lottery. I mean, it's not.
Yeah. It's a very reasonable thing to have because it's not like god tier level stuff. But a 20% boost to your odds of winning the lottery is still going to leave you with very little chance of winning the lottery.
Yeah.
Yeah, people have said the first one breaks the laws of thermodynamics. The CIA would get involved.
Yeah.
I mean, batteries would save money. Yeah, batteries, luck.
I mean, at what point can you? How big a battery can you scale it up? So if I were to get an electric car,
Yeah, that counts.
if I were to find some way of applying a large battery to power my home,
Yeah.
yeah, well, you see, yeah, you're absolutely right. But at what point does it stop working for a home battery? Do I have to be at home, or can I just own the home?
I think you have to be at home.
Okay, in which case it's pointless because my
Well,
fridge.
actually, no. If it's in use,
Okay, so yeah,
um,
something like a fridge would keep it in use, and therefore,
yeah,
because otherwise that
yeah,
defeats the whole point, doesn't it? It's like if
yeah.
the money you save on the electric, yeah, it's worth considering. But no, if you control over when you do the joke, I'd go with that, but only so I could monetize it.
I mean, even if I didn't have control over when I made the joke,
Well, if
I
it's
mean, I'd be perfectly if it because I make a lot of jokes and jokey comments and things like that every day anyway at work and away from work, and if one of them is a hit, so everybody in the room is laughing uproariously, that is enough to
that's
you
enough for
know
your purposes for using it. Uh,
yeah, increase my popularity.
I've just lost. Oh my god, it's our teammate. I'm about to lap our teammate, and to think
Kill
you were
him.
worried about me getting kicked off the team. Lando, ooh, move over. Oh, maybe he was involved in that thing with Magnussen. I've lost game sound.
You always lose game sound, it seems.
Not always. I didn't lose game sound when we were playing Power Wash, and I don't tend to lose it. If I were to turn my monitor, my TV sound on, I'd be able to hear
Mm.
it. So it's only because of a connection to the bloody computer that it's decided to go a bit wonky. So I can fix that, but I mean pausing it and losing the video feed for a minute.
Oh, don't bother. It's basically fine, isn't it?
Well, that's it. If anyone really desperately wants to hear the cars going vroom vroom, then
You'll know what cars sound like. Just make it up in your head.
yeah.
Yeah, like that.
We've got 5 laps of fuel remaining. Oh Jesus, that's not good. Oh no, I've been pushing it too hard. We haven't got enough fuel to finish the race, Ben. We're down
you
by
need a
basically a lap.
Do you need a pit stop then? I guess.
No, you can't refuel. Not since the mid to late noughties.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah, because there were too many fireballs.
Oh well, yeah. That's. I mean, as far as reasons for amending the rules go, too many fireballs is pretty legitimate.
But in 2005, they weren't allowed to change tyres.
Hmm.
So I had to get through the race in one set of tyres. But no, Jos Verstappen, who was Max's dad, was involved in a big fireball incident.
All right.
At a particular race. I think I am managing to save some fuel, but fuel saving is one of these things that I'm just no good at doing in this game.
Mm.
And I'm not entirely sure how to do it in real life either. I keep meaning to Google it because I keep thinking my fuel's going down a bit fast.
Well, I suppose you ease up on the accelerator, do you?
Yeah, the trouble is then you lose your race position, don't you?
Yeah. Well, that's what you got to consider, I suppose. We're sponsored by Google Chrome, it seems.
Yes, we are. Screw you, Matt. Oh no, screw me. I didn't get a warning for that, and I absolutely should have got a warning for ramming him off the road. He lost 5 seconds because of that. Oh, we're gonna run out of fucking. We're gonna run out of fuel, Ben.
I've never seen that happen before. Just cut to a game over screen type thing, or
No,
do you
what'll
actually
happen is we'll
cut
actually
it to a
have
stop?
we'll have some fuel left in the car, but we won't have enough to get us there at any real pace.
Mm.
If for qualifying laps that I've done where I've ran out of fuel or anything to go by, so it's not gonna be nice for us. Is the key thing, and we want to be as close to the end of the track as possible when it happens, because then we might actually still keep the position. But basically, we're not gonna do well out of this. We're gonna lose. Start lifting off a fossil lit before breaking points. Let Jack do some of it. Okay, fine, all right. Okay, we gained 0.1 of a lap there, but now I need to accelerate, and then we're down to 0.2 of a lap again. Lifting coast, that's fine. We can lifting coast a bit. I fucking hate fuel saving. Wish me luck, Ben.
Good luck, Ben.
I said wish me luck, Ben.
Oh.
Okay, what I'm doing is I'm tapping the throttle instead of holding it down. And you see how in the bottom right, the fuel mix is going up?
Mm.
Well, it was 0.9 at one point at the start of this lap. But the trouble is, Max has managed to gain about 4 seconds on us.
Not good, is it?
No, it's not. I need to just go for it, I think, and make it work on the last lap somehow. Two laps of fuel left, and we've got 3 bit laps to go. It reckons that we've got 0.7 of a lap, 0.75 of a lap less than we need. I might be able to put him into a... Oh! He put me into a wall. Whoops. Let's see what
And you
happens.
still don't have to worry about fuel anymore.
Oh, we're going to finish this race, Ben, somehow. Oh, to be fair, I put myself into a wall there. What happened to him? Nothing. I didn't even actually get him. Right, let's go to here. I want to finish this race. I've got to finish this race. Just to prove that I can finish this race. With a ridiculous fuel issue. I'm tapping the throttle. We've been overtaken by Leclerc.
Hence this video yet.
I mean, we're not going to win.
No, we're not. We're in 5th.
Well, we're not. We might not even finish. But
how many laps? 3.
3 to go. And we got point. I wasn't paying attention.
You buggered that up, didn't you?
Oh, I buggered it right up. I was too busy focusing on the fuel and not focusing on the steering. We need to get around this corner because I can't join halfway through a corner. It's like I don't change gear halfway through a corner if I'm actually driving for real. It just feels weird. Okay, that'll gain us a bit. Okay, yep. I'm going to have to just throttle it and see what happens. Oh, this isn't good. It's because I was pushing for so much of a race. You know, trying to win the damn race. I don't remember doing anything different to how I normally would.
Mm.
Maybe the race is just a bit longer this time. It does seem a bit longer. 36 laps is a lot of laps, so it's not a short track. It's not an overly short track. It's a bit more of a windily short track. You know, instead of ovals.
Yeah.
Go on, have you found another hypothetical situation you want to talk about whilst I fuel save?
Oh, okay. I guess you... Okay, I'll have a look.
I figured you maybe were still scrolling through because I know what you're like.
No, I wasn't. I was sort of...
God, were you actually watching?
Well, a little bit, yeah.
Oh my god. Maybe I should have fuel issues every bloody race.
You know what? Let's sort by, like, controversial. Let's get some shit ones.
Okay. They're not too shit, are they? Because normally controversial is really bad.
The most controversial is $1 million, but Trump wins the election, or $0, but Kamala wins.
I would take the $0 personally, but because he's already won, do I get to claim $1 million anyway? Is that a thing? Is that an option? I know dollars are basically worthless to me over here, but I'm sure I can trade them.
50,000 a month. But you can only bang people 50 and over.
Yeah, I'll take that. It's not like people suddenly get a lot uglier when they turn 50. And we're at that age now where 50's not starting to not look that bad. I would say.
This is interesting because there are similar ones involving people that aren't rated this low. $3 million. Okay, £3 million one-time payment, but every meal you consume, a dog dies.
Say that again.
£3 million.
Yeah.
But every time you consume a meal, a dog dies.
Because I'm eating with dog, or just in general?
No, just in general.
Well, I'm a cat person anyway, so
You,
enough for
you
money.
just never finish a meal.
I think starting the meal is probably the problem there. We're in low
Would you
fuel mode.
would you rather have a hot, spelt HAWT, sex slave, only visible to you, or 50,000?
50,000 sex slaves only visible to me.
No, £50,000.
I'd rather have the
Okay.
money, to be honest with you. I could pay off my debts and then buy a new car, and then I'd still have a sizable amount to maybe look at a deposit. You know what? I think that I've really, really wasted my opportunity here because there I was fuel saving, and actually I've not lost a single position since I ran out of fuel.
Hmm.
Only because I ever so slightly clipped his wheel, but I could have. I don't think I had to do quite as much fuel saving as they made out I had to. Okay, I lost one position, but there's a DRS straight there. We still got points. Oh, fuck off. That's a rub in the salt of the wound. Lance Stroll got driver of the day.
Oh.
Who voted
Would you
for him?
would you rather have £10,000 a year for life or a butler?
£10,000 a year for life.
Yes.
That's barely anything. And I still have to work.
Uh, he would sleep on a rollaway bed that must be stored in a closet. If you have extra room for him, he would be grateful, but it's not necessary. Be on duty from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed. He works 6 days a week and we get 2 weeks of vacation. Doesn't work on Sundays because he's a Lutheran or an Episcopalian, apparently. He has a bicycle and does not drive. He would also do his shopping and occasionally visit a prostitute on his day off if available. He's very discreet.
I would
This is very, very detailed. Hang on, I just want to read this because this is exceptionally detailed. He will tidy your home, keep things orderly, but he's not a maid, and he will not do cleaning like floors, windows, dishes, etc. Serve and plate your meals, and can prepare simple sandwiches and cold hors d'oeuvres. He's not a chef and cannot cook, but he will put something in an oven at a designated temperature for a designated time. He will not use the microwave or stove. If things burn, he won't know. He can make and serve drinks. He's a good knowledge of wine and cocktails. He makes okay coffee, but very good tea. Will answer your door and phone if required. He will keep your personal calendar and appointments, but nothing involving your business. He will not pay your bills, but will remind you when they are due. He will not wash, dry, or fold clothes, but he will iron them and hang them up.
oh my
He can
Christ,
help you
I don't
pick,
even do that. Why would I get him to do it?
he can help you pick clothes and dress. He has a superb knowledge of style for formal and business wear, but knows nothing of modern casual clothing. He will take your dog out and feed your animals, but it does not clean up after them. He's not a nanny and will not watch your kids, but if he sees them making trouble, he may tisk at them. Not do any home repair or improvements, nor any outdoor work. He will not run errands for you. Is this is just a shit housemate? If you ask him to do anything beyond the scope of his traditional butler duties, he will politely refuse. When home, he will always be in the room or the next room unless asleep. He will listen to you talk, but believe that it is improper to truly converse with you beyond polite chit chat. If you tell a joke he finds truly funny, he may smile and say, "Very good, sir." If he disapproves of your behaviour, he won't say anything, but he will have a disapproving look. He is fully paid by the hypothetical situation council and buys his own food, clothing, toiletries, etc. He will be with you until you die and cannot be dismissed. If you call the police to have him trespassed from your home, they will think it's a prank.
I feel like this is a massive, massive waste.
I'll take 10k a year.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like it as terms of because, like I say, you'd still have to work. But
Well, yeah, it'd take the edge off, wouldn't it?
yeah, I suppose.
It's,
Anyway,
yes.
we've finished. So the
Yeah.
last 3 minutes of this is me sat on this menu with you talking about.
About imaginary butlers who visit prostitutes on their day off.
Not even good butlers, just to be clear.
No.
So thank you for joining us. If you joined us, which you didn't, and you've probably gone by now if you did. So yeah, thank you. Next week we'll be in Monza, in
Where's that
Italy.
then? Oh, I thought it was Switzerland. Bye.
There is no Swiss race. We went over this, you daft twat.
Yeah.
Bastard.